scariest coincidence that made you question reality. It didn't creep up. It hit like a slammed door. At 7:40 p.m., in a secondhand bookstore I'd never been, a slip fell from a novel into my hand. If you're reading this, turn around. I turned. A woman in the next aisle held the same book. She glanced up. Sorry, she said, and moved on. I flipped the note. On the back was an address in blue script I half recognized. 11 Bray Street, my old block. I bought the book. The margins were alive, with that same handwriting, arrows, underlines, little jokes. A memory cracked open. My brother Liam, dead since I was 19, used to mark pages like this. One arrow pointed to a line about fate and said, tell him at 7:40. My watch read 7:41. Against sense, I drove to Bray. Crooked maples, leaning fences, number 11 dark. A dent in the mailbox matched one Liam once left skateboarding too fast. I was leaving when I heard it. Our childhood knocked too quick, one slow by the side gate. Liam? My voice sounded borrowed. Wind answered. Headlights washed the porch. The woman from the store stepped from a car. You followed it too, she said, lifting her copy. A different slip stuck out. She offered it. It said, bring the stranger. We should have left. Instead, we tried the door. It opened on stale air and my mother's old wallpaper tiny furs in the foyer. Her phone led us to the kitchen, where a box sat on the table. Inside lay another copy of the same novel. On its title page, in blue ink, I missed you on the bus. Take the train. The date beneath was the day Liam died. He'd been hit by a bus after skipping the late train. This feels staged, she whispered. I checked the back flap. A used subway ticket was taped there. Timestamped 7:40 the minute I found the note. Who are you? I asked. Nora, she said. My mom lived on the street. She told a story about a boy who climbed that maple and whistled to call his brother home. She pointed outside. My phone, unknown number. If you're at Bray, leave now. Take the 8:10 train. The sender name was a nickname only Liam used. Nora's screen lit too. Same message. A siren wailed far off. We backed out, careful as trespassers. The highest branch of the maple was cracked, a pale jag against the dark. At the station, the clock read 8:08. I bought 2 tickets. At 8:10, the train sighed into the platform. We sat across from each other in silence. Lights flickered in the tunnel. My phone buzzed again. Good, stay on. 3 stops later, red strobes washed the windows. The conductor's voice came soft. Due to an incident at a crossing, the earlier bus had been struck by a truck. The bus I would have taken. Nora pressed a fist to her mouth. We rode to the terminus without speaking. Rain eased to a mist. Under an awning, we traded numbers. Not for romance, but to prove we were real. Back home, I set both books on the table. The margins curled with blue ink like a map. In each, the same underlined line, we are threads tugged by hands we cannot see. On a hunch, I searched my email for the number. An old contact surfaced. Marco, Liam's friend who'd moved away. I wrote, did you text me? He replied in minutes. New phone. Found your brother's notebook while packing. Your nickname was on the first page. Felt urgent. For days I tried to sand the story down to coincidence. A thrifted book, a stranger, a mistimed bus. But when I think of the 3 knocks, the cracked branch, 2 copies of the same novel in a dark kitchen, and a message arriving at the exact minute a bus met a truck, reason thins. The world shifts on its seams and shows what's underneath. I don't pretend not to see it anymore.